If you noticed, someone gave a statistic recently, and they said that in the last year, more men committed suicide in the armed services than died in Iraq and Afghanistan. Do you know what that's saying? In certain terms, it's not just the trauma of war, although it is not your grandfather's or your father's kind of wars. These wars are all fought high-tech. And these people have to see things that are not just horrific. Humanity has always seen horrific things. But these people have also been subjected to super high-tech mind control operations, and they come home and sometimes they have been fed a suicide program just to make certain that later on they don't talk. For others, everything's breaking down, they're going insane, they don't know what to do. There's a big mess behind the scenes on what has happened with using technologies, black holes, hiding the existence of other beings, and using the young people of the planet. The young people are not victims. They volunteer in general for all the military coming out of this country, and it is a karmic thing. And then someone only walks away from violence by choice. So you have big things being played out because this is what these people have chosen to work on in this lifetime. Questions?
This is Carol.
Carol.
I'm coming in contact with a lot of people who are having headaches, high blood pressure, and allergies, and I wonder if it's certain mental patterns or emotions or what's causing all this to happen.
It's too much Wi-Fi in the air.
All three?
It is destroying humanity. You have too many frequencies out there that the body cannot integrate them. And then on top of the stress that people have, everyone's sort of knowing now that things aren't very good, there's no denial about it, and the people are waiting for the next shoe to drop. That creates great stress. People are worried tremendously. Do you understand?
I do.
And all of this electronic stuff in the air that you cannot see is destroying people's mental ability. They cannot rest. And many of these people are not taking care of their body. In other words, they're not having good bowel movements, they don't sleep well, they're not drinking water, and they're eating things that are in their diet that are full of all kinds of chemical problems, and the body is just breaking down. You are seeing the beginning stages of this. It's going to get worse. Unless you can inspire others to say, hey, listen, this is what you need to do. It's simple, as our vehicle's been telling you, but most people they get so used to what they are involved in, they cannot break free, Carol. Now, do you see these people in terms of your work and your practice, or are you talking about socially, or both, all the way around?
Mostly work, but it's been around for 30 years when Wi-Fi wasn't. So I'm just wondering if certain emotional things cause high blood pressure.
Well, of course they do. Emotional blocks are behind everything. But we are saying the rise in senility and Alzheimer's and the functional insanity and the craziness, this is all paying a tremendous price. Your animals are all mixed up. They can't figure out their migratory patterns. This is all too many signals in the air. Now, personally, when people have a blocked energy and they have a problem and they don't deal with it, they don't make a boundary, they carry stress. And of course, many people will tell you, oh yes, I drink plenty of water, or I do this or this, and they just out and out deceive you. Do you understand?
I do.
And so they kid themselves. Why don't I feel good? Well, how many hours do you sleep a night? Well, about 4 maybe, and I fall asleep with the TV on, and then I wake up first thing in the morning. What do you have first thing in the morning? Of course, a cup of coffee. Oh, really? Yes, all right. About before you go to bed? Oh, well, whatever. Do you understand that everything is becoming more sensitized, and people have lost common sense? And here's the other thing. You don't move. Most people don't move. They don't get out and walk. They don't have to walk to the neighbor to visit. Do you understand? So people have lost their mobility, and in losing their mobility, all these things are building up inside of them. And it's going to accelerate more and more. There's no magical wand for it. There is simply you really encouraging people, writing it out on a piece of paper, a whole list of things. Do this, and come back and tell me. Do you understand?
I do.
Good.
Thank
Questions? Questions?
Hey, Jean.
Jean?
Yes. As I'm listening, I'm just being aware of the conscious mind that is observing and listening and wondering about how you know what you know when there's only a certain frequency that's at this conscious level that most of us are attending to right now. But to really wake up is to go to a different frequency, maybe lower, maybe higher. Could you talk a little bit about that? The potatoes way down low, but
Right.
the corn is way up high.
Yes.
Could you talk about those?
Now listen,
differences?
you need the conscious mind to navigate. The conscious mind gets you around. It goes grocery shopping. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
It washes the clothes. It navigates. You need that. But what it has become overly predominant. The more you pay attention to what's inside, the more you will access that inner knowledge. It comes from inside, and yet it also comes as energy from outside. Some people like to believe they have guardian angels, or they are channeling this, or they're channeling that, and they get their information from their channeling. We'll tell you something. Our vehicle gets her information when she is not channeling from herself. She does not tune into we and say, what do the peas need? Karen and our vehicle, Barbara, have not come to us and say, Peas, can you tell us how to do this, or should we do this, or what should we hear, and this and this. This is why we have stayed with them, and the work has matured, because we have taught them to do it for themselves. Certainly when our vehicle is channeling, she is in, her brainwaves are lit up, she is in a completely different brainwave state. But she has learned to use her body as she, and we are asking all of you to do. So it's about a listening inside. It's about an expecting that your biological being is wanting to give you information and that you can rely on it. So a lot of creating reality is being exciting about something and giving yourself permission to realize that it's yours. You don't have to deserve it, or you be worthy, or this or this. It's like having an automobile, and there's a trunk there and a back seat all along, but you insist that you couldn't possibly have it, so you don't even look. You must welcome what wants to come from inside. Work between the third eye and the heart chakra. To activate the third eye, and to get this going here so that you get more vision, you can give it a tap now and again. You can just knock, knock. Hello, who's there? This kind of thing. Spend more time energizing and be mindful of the sun, so that you can go out, and especially from now to summer solstice and beyond, lay in the sun, close your eyes, and full day, you don't want to look at the sun, but picture the sun going right here into the third eye. And the exercise we did last night, listen with the right ear, listen with the left ear. Not only does it change brainwave frequencies, but it tends to sort of wake up the cochlea in the inner ear, and the cochlea is the one that catches the sound that comes on the language of light from the rays of the sun. That's third eye. You can also lift the tongue to the roof of the mouth periodically and hold it there, tapping, etc. That will also help stimulate and pay attention to this area. You want to develop something, you must pay attention to it. And then the heart. We want you all to begin to imagine that it's the center of the body. There's a brain here in the belly. There's a brain here up here. But this is where the integration point is. This is where the truth comes forward. This is where you must be courageous to look in your heart, to interpret it, to follow its course, even if you don't like what it is saying. Your heart will tell you the truth. Your heart, it does not want to flatter you. Your heart just calls it the way it is. Your ego wants to protect itself because it thinks it's in charge and it knows it's not, and it hopes no one else notices.